It's Freedom Park. Alright, it's Freedom Park. It is Freedom Drive, actually. Let's continue. So, let me give you a history about mental health. And one of the things mental health is, the doctors tell you that I have a doctor that I'm interviewing for my show. And on my show, they're going to do, I have an interview in Florida for my show. And there's a doctor that intervenes with mental health. And I'm teaming up with her to do a center where I'm going to be redeveloping my building 1543. So with this redevelopment work that we're doing for the mental health show is basically about men's health and women's health. Men go through a lot of mental health crises where they find a lot of situations where they have different types of cancer, different types of mammograms and stuff like that. Mostly mammograms is mostly for women, but men, they struggle with a lot of growth in their tissue. And we have to manifest that power for you to be understandable of what it is that we're developing as far as mental health growth and mental health seasonable. So what we're looking at here, when I was admitted in Kings County, I did testing. Let me come back. I'll come back. I can tell you what I just said. Yeah, so let me continue what I just said. When I was at Kings County, they ran a lot of tests. I was at Mamadi's, they ran a lot of tests. They did stuff where they did testing where I had some, wires in my body, and they did a lot of testing. But the test concluded that they didn't find any problems with my body, but they found problems in my blood. And my blood is divided by when you was born, you have a blood that deteriorates what your blood is, your blood type. So to find out my blood type, I had to find out who is my blood relatives on my mom's side. So when they ran my blood work, I found one of my mom's brothers on her dad's side. And I didn't tell her yet because it's a surprise. Mandani elect school chancellor Kamar Samuels. And he's related to my mom, Pedro Samuels. I found out I wanted to get a DNA paternity test done because I want to see if me and him are related as family. Because that could be my relative, my blood relative on my mom, dad's side. So, as I look at it, I already set it up where I'm going to have a meeting with him and I'm going to address my concerns and everything like that. But just to let you know, I found a couple of people that's the last name Samuels, and I'm going to run a paternity test because I really feel that my mom doesn't get to read her siblings on her dad's side because she have a lot of siblings on her dad's side. But the only time is you feel like when the person gone to heaven and you don't meet the relatives that gone to heaven. Give me a second, let me come back. Pause this real quick. All right. We're back. So you don't meet your family members on your dad's side because you don't have enough relatives on that person's side of the family. See in my back. Let me see my back. Is anybody in my back? Nah, we good. So here's the bus coming down now. That's a Q55. So I told my Aunt Marlene, I said that it's time for me to grow up because you can't hate somebody that was abandoning you for years. And I told my aunt that it's time for you guys to forgive your family members and move on. You feel me? Because it's not good to hold back grudges. I feel like you're holding a lot of grudges in your life that you can't look at it. Because I found a couple of Samuels last name, and when I did my family tree, I didn't know I had a great-great-grandfather whose last name Samuels. That's right here. And Lord God, my great-great-grandfather was a pilot that used to run the Panama Canal years back. I didn't know that shit. I didn't know. So when I ran, so I'm going to be doing a lab curiosticks, and I'm gonna look at my blood relatives, and I'm gonna get to know them because it's time for me to. Cause I got kids of my own, and I don't want my kids to think that I got kids of my own. To be honest with you, and I don't want them to hate their relatives because they need to get to know their relatives. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's not my fault because you don't know your relatives. You feel me? It's not my fault because you can't get to meet your relatives someday and get a hang of it and try to learn from the best of it and whatever. So it's like it's good to know your relatives. You feel me? And I just feel like the bullshit and the BS and all that, you're not honoring your relatives. My dad's side is pretty much a big family because I don't know a lot of people on his side of the family. I met a cousin of my dad's cousin that came down from they lived in Ohio, something like that, Ohio or Florida, I don't know. And he was staying over by Nostrand and Avenue J. So yeah, and I didn't know I had a cousin on my dad's side until my aunt told me, but we right by Jamaica Avenue. That's the J train right there. So I didn't even know, you feel me? Until now, But even though I didn't know, it's good to know because you could understand why they left, why they did, I heard he has a wife that's Jewish, and his wife's last name is Samuels. So something wasn't right when I heard Mandani nominated a person's last name just like my last name. So I don't even know if we're related. That's the reason why I haven't told my mom yet, but I'm doing a DNA testing done, and I'm gonna I want the doctors to pull up Samuel's last names on each Samuel's thing, and I want to take a paternity test or a lab diagnostic test because I want to know that if we're related or not. Because if we are related, then I would like to meet him one day and get to know him and shit. I know he was born in Jamaica, and I know he's in his mid 40s to 50s. And I think if he's in his 50s, he probably would be born in the early 70s. If he's in his 40s, he could be born in the late 80s. Wait, 40s, late 70s, right? Late 70s to, yeah. So, I don't know.